you guys acknowledged it. The Big 12 does have two undefeated teams left. Obviously, both of them are ranked. BYU and Iowa State. Do you think that either or both of these teams has a path to a 12 and 0 regular season? And if not, who loses first? What do you
You
think?
want me to go?
Yeah, go
You want me
ahead.
to
Go.
go again? Uh, do they have a path to a 12-0 regular season? Yes. The reason why is for the reason that we just discussed, and that's because there's nobody on anybody's schedule that is unbeatable.
Hmm.
There's nobody that BYU or Iowa State is going to come out of the tunnel on Saturday and say those guys just have way more talent than we do. We
Hmm.
we got to play perfect to beat this team. So yes, there is a path to for either of those teams to go 12 and 0. Will either of those teams go 12 and 0? I don't see it happening. I think it'd be a big challenge for either of those teams to go 11 and 1, just because again you're not those teams. None of the teams in the Big 12 are going to out talent in a major way the major every other team remaining on their schedule. So I think both those teams will probably lose a couple of times. But my big question is, what is the how many losses the two teams in the Big 12 championship game? How many losses are they going to have? I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, but in a 16 team conference, how many losses is eliminating to be a conference championship contender?
I don't know that there's a number in terms of like I think the conference champion will get in, however many losses they have. But
Oh, I'm talking about to make the conference
oh,
championship game.
gotcha, gotcha.
How many conference losses is disqualifying now? Are we going to have an
Right.
unbeaten against a one loss, or could a two
I
loss team
think
get
I
in
think
there?
it's probably cyclical in terms of, the season, but I feel like the fact that we've gotten to this point and those two are undefeated, I probably give them a little bit better chance than you do. At least Iowa State would actually be my answer, would be the team that has the better road if you look at their schedule. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, Iowa State's just the better team too. I think, those are the last two teams Baylor has played, and they almost came back and beat BYU and they got smoked against Iowa State. So I just, not that Baylor is the measuring stick, but Iowa State is just a better team. But like I think at this any team can beat any team in this league. As cliche as that sounds, like BYU hosts Oklahoma State this week, and Gundy, I think he's done fighting cows at this point. But I'm not putting anything past Gundy, right? And then they have obviously that big game against Utah is always a big game, and then Iowa State ends the year with Farmageddon against Kansas State, and that's always a big game. So, I think it's unlikely that both of these teams are undefeated, or even one of them is undefeated, and but I think Iowa State is the clear pick if you had to pick which one has the better chance.
Yeah, so this is Iowa State's remaining schedule. I had to pull it up, but I had looked at it before. The next two games, they get UCF and Tech at home. Um, I think that's beneficial that you get the Red Raiders, in Ames rather than in Lubbock. They go to Kansas to play a disappointing Jayhawk team. You host Cincinnati. You go to Utah to face a team in the Utes that's obviously um, searching to find themselves again without Cam Rising. And then to me, the toughest game is probably the season finale for them. They host Kansas State, a good Kansas State team, but again, it's at home. So I mean, to me, it almost looks like Iowa State could be favored in all of those games. Maybe not at Utah, we'll see. But um, yeah, I do think there's a path. I tend to agree that they probably won't do it. They'll probably slip up somewhere. But I do think 11 and 1 is actually um, playable. I mean, like it's in play.